Flames of War brings you the battles of World War II in epic 15mm scale. Go to the hub on beastsofwar.com to find news, tactics, and tutorials about the game. Fight for the Iron Kingdoms as a warcaster. Take control of the mighty jacks, arcane devices, and dark sorceries to bring the fight to the War Machine Hub on beastsofwar.com.
Hey guys, deaddave again. Guess what I got? More Forge Rod, joined by John. And believe it or not, this is one kit. This is a Warhound Titan.
Yeah, and I've never had a look at one of these in the parts before. And you know, when you see them on the website, you're like, oh, that looks amazing. And then you think about it and go, if I buy one, what's it going to turn up like? This is what it turns up like.
I was amazed. When I opened the box, I was like, oh my God, there are so many parts.
How long have you had this for?
I've actually had it for a couple of years now. It's just been sitting there.
Have you just been intimidated to build it?
I don't want to get engrossed in it until I've got the time to actually sit down and go through the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think this is going to take some time.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's going to be a proper dedication to get through this.
Now, we don't know how many parts are in the kit. We've asked.
Yeah, I actually rung Forge World and they don't know.
So, you know, not their fault, obviously, but
You'd think they'd know. They've been making it for long enough.
Well, well, how long has this kit been around for? When did they release the Warhounds?
It's been over 10 years.
So, where do we want to start?
I'm going to start with the biggest bag.
Okay.
Big, chunky parts.
I'll move the other stuff out of the way here. In fact,
let's get it all out at once, or just...
Yeah, let's get all out at once to see what happens.
Let's pour. All right, that's a mountain of resin. That is a mountain of resin.
And I don't think this is a lot of the body either. This is a lot of main body, but I don't think it is.
We've got the lower head here where the crew sit.
Yep, just slide it back a bit. There you go. So there's our cockpit, which will have the Princeps in there at some point. He's in a bag somewhere.
He's in a bag somewhere.
I've seen him. When we find him, we'll show him to you. But look at that. Look at the back, the front of the cockpit. I mean, there's so much detail in there.
There's something you're hardly ever going to see. That's a lot of detail.
But it gives you the option of just taking that off and showing everybody what you can do.
I like the fact they got in designs from other models, like the sideways hatch. It looks similar to the ones on the Land Raider.
Yeah. It's sort of that, the standard template construct that the tag priests always praise and everything. So a lot of it is sort of, they've made it look like it's standardized in some manner.
Yeah. You can see design flourishes across the whole range.
Absolutely. I love the front. It's like some sort of really big American
This is
truck.
the Wolf pattern.
Yeah. We better make sure, this is the Wolf pattern.
I think it's the Wolf pattern.
I think it is.
Wolf-class Lucius Pattern, yeah.
Ah, okay, cool.
I don't even know what I bought.
It's been that long ago.
It's been that long.
It's a very big bullish front though, I do like that. It's very cool. I'd be tempted to stick some LEDs in there if I could.
That'd be cool, yeah.
Right, next. Cables and piping.
Cables and piping.
Do we know what they're for?
They're power feeds for the guns, I believe.
Yeah, so they're coming out of the body.
They'll come out and go under the shoulders.
Yeah, cool.
They're pretty simple.
I take it those are parts you're going to have to bend in some water.
Yeah, it did say that in instructions there. Once you've set the guns where you want them under the mounts, you then bend them to shape using you submerge them in hot water for like 30 seconds to a minute.
Yep. That's another thing when you're working with resin, you have to be very careful with what you're doing with it. This is the back of the main body, isn't it?
Yep, this is the back area.
So, or is that towards the cockpit? That's towards the cockpit, I think, because that's the neck joint for the head.
Yep.
So we have that, then there's a doorway through into this.
Yeah, that'll go like that actually, yeah.
Piece, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, so, no, is it?
Is it that one?
That's, yeah.
Yeah, that one, yeah, that's
That's
the back area. That's the back area.
We're figuring this out as we go along. So there's a lot of internal detail that will be added to as the model's built. Yep. Because you'll have the shoulder parts in which add more interior to this.
Again, lots of detail inside.
Yep.
Very impressive. Steps, doors, ladders.
Mm-hmm. Again, I've seen a lot of these on like Cool Mini or Not where the guys have just gone to town on them. Yeah. Especially the Chaos ones.
Oh yeah, you end up with demons coming out of the walls.
Yeah. Next, that I believe is part of the hip joint. I believe that's part of the hip joint. Because it looks like it goes in there somewhere.
Oh, yeah, it could be, yeah.
But yeah.
Again, we're apologising, we don't know what any of these parts are. I'm dreading putting this together.
That does look like part, because that's more internal detail there. So that's a little...
control panel.
Yep,
You can imagine a little guy standing there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's maybe part of is it the shrine?
It could be.
Possibly part of the shrine. Anyway, we'll move that out of the way.
Actually, these...
So that's our shoulders.
That's the shoulders.
Yeah, and that is...
They are some really... They don't even get on the camera.
Yeah.
They are some big chunks.
They are huge. I like the Lucius patterns because of this shape. The Mars pattern doesn't appeal to me as much.
That's why I went for this. I like the square, chunky mech warrior look.
Yep. Again, more internal detail for underneath the shoulder where the weapons will be joining on.
Yep, that's where the piping goes into there, actually.
Yeah.
Them little holes there.
All right, so that's where our pipes go in, and then you'll have to bend those once you've got the weapons in place.
Assuming these will be interior parts.
Yep. So you have... Yep.
Yep, there'll be interior parts.
And same on the other side. So
they are some big chunks.
They really are. I'm not surprised you haven't built this thing after so long. It is...
Like I said, I'm a little bit intimidated by it. It's going to be the biggest kit I've ever done. I've done Forge kits in the past, but this is something else. I mean, even just looking at the fact, without a clean up on some of these chunks, these are massive chunks of resin.
Yep. You're going to have to cut off.
Yeah, I'm going to have to cut. I'm going to saw them off.
Yep. So if you were doing this and taking your time with it, you're going to have to saw that off and spend ages with sandpaper.
Yeah, getting it dead clean. Well, one way I do, like, I know a lot of people don't like it, but I love liquid green stuff because it's sandable. You can just keep filling it and you can get a really nice finish.
Yep. There's other products as well, like Mr. Modeler's spray.
Yep.
Which is, have you ever used it before?
Nope.
Or heard of it before?
Nope.
It's like a primer spray, but it builds up a layer.
Oh, okay.
You can sand
and
back.
You can sand it back.
Yeah, so it's like sprayable liquid green stuff to an extent.
That's cool.
Right.
That sounds good.
Yeah, let's continue.
I'm going to get the plasma blast gun.
Ah, one of the big guns.
Oh, these are beauties.
And not a lot of parts to them either.
Not a lot of parts.
Better.
The main guns themselves, single piece.
Yeah.
And that is huge. That is an awesome looking weapon.
Especially when you paint them up with a nice glow effect.
Yeah, I just think I thought that's where I'm going to go to town on it. I want it all glowing around the edges.
We're going to get you doing some airbrushing?
I might have to invest in an airbrush to actually paint this. Because
there's so much there. You're going to have to.
These are massive areas. I can imagine getting through pots of paints otherwise.
Yeah, yeah. So again, we have the cable join points. Probably either there or there's two there, but maybe that's for a back piece or some of these...
I think these bits go into the back like you would see on a normal, plasma gun.
Yeah.
Just really big scale.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is the arm joint, so that'll go in there and hang into the top shoulders.
Yep.
They're actually quite posable.
Yeah, they are.
These are really nice, big, thick ball joints. I suppose once you found a position you like, you could probably pin them.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of guys pin them because I don't think super glue will handle this much weight.
I have seen some people, because they want weapon options, they do magnetise them. And I'm like,
oh. Seriously big magnets.
Yeah.
Though. Yeah. Well, at least earth magnets are quite strong. So we have the plasma gun. So let's put that back in the bag because we don't want to mix those bits up.
I'll let you open that one.
Oh, yeah.
This is my favourite gun. This is the whole reason I wanted a Warhound Titan. The Vulcan heavy.
Vulcan, it's not just a mega bolter, is it? It's
Vulcan mega bolter.
Yes, that thing. Again, single piece cast, which is astounding that you can get this amount of detail in a single piece cast.
That is gorgeous. I like the fact it's one exit point as well, one vent.
Yeah, one vent. Cut that off, sand it down. The rest of the weapon's ready to go. And again, you have the ball joint for the elbow.
Just love the ammo boxes.
Yeah.
Like, you can imagine this going absolutely berserk.
I would kind of like it if you could have got belt feeds made for it.
Oh, that would look awesome. Just hanging down really big ones. Or actually, what I would like to see is the old-fashioned barrel drums.
Yeah.
Barrel drums on the bottom of that. That would look awesome.
That would look
again,
very cool.
That would be huge pieces.
Yeah, it would make this double the weight of it already.
Oh, that is beautiful. I love all the detail on the side of its little panels. Gorgeous.
For a single cast piece, it is excellent. I don't think we have any casting marks. We have very slight, but you can see where I think that's where the mold has been split. So they've done
I like the ammo exits. They're big ammo exits.
Are you going to do it maybe with a big string of empty casings flying out?
I don't know, I'm probably not that talented. I'm not that talented. I'd like to do it blackened around it though.
Yeah.
It's like...
So it's been used a lot.
Yep.
Right, let's put that back in its bag. Pick our next one.
Pick another bag. There's many to go through. Sorry, Justin.
I'm not sorry.
No, he's not sorry. He's enjoying this.
Yeah. I got all the good stuff. You got all the small bits.
Just stuff everywhere.
Right. We are now...
start with that.
The top of the cockpit. Which we actually have some clear plastic came with.
There is actually...
So
I was quite pleased that it comes with this. I thought that was quite an interesting piece.
Yep, so you can add your clear plastic.
I don't know if you can actually see that on camera because it's clear.
Yeah.
See it reflecting a bit, but you cut that to shape and it'll fit in all the windows.
Yep. And I've seen a lot of guys do a red tint or a green tint on them.
That'd look cool, yeah. Tinted windows. There is quite a lot of flash on that one.
There is, but I mean, it's not anywhere that's going to annoy you. I mean, most of this is going to be cut off. You know, most of that area will be cut off anyway when you're actually trimming the parts. It's just inside the windows you're going to have to be a bit careful with.
I like the fact they leave these so you can take them off. Gives you a rough idea. Oh, it looks even good now. It's not even on properly. I like that.
Now, question, are you going to do it that you can remove the top?
Yes.
You're going to have the crew in there?
Yeah, I want the crew.
Absolutely.
I want the crew. They've gone to a lot of effort to put a detail on the inside.
Yep.
I don't usually care for tanks with the inside detail, but this is special.
Yeah, I think anything with this much investment behind it, you know, both in, you know, money terms, but also sculpting, casting, all that, I think Forge will deserve to have people that buy this go the whole hog.
I'm the kind of guy that with all the plastic kits, all the movable bits, I glue them.
Yeah.
I don't want it moving.
Doesn't need to.
Right, moving on.
Right, we mostly have, what, hip joint?
I think that is the main body to leg hip joint thing.
Yep, so that's our hip joint there. Again, the amount of you really would need to have to paint this individually. I think nearly every part needs a bit of an individual paint job just to get in there so that later you don't look at it and go, I missed a bit.
Just look at it, it looks like it's on a pedestal now. Spinning. Look at this. Look, you want to buy it, don't you?
Buy it.
When are you going to get one then?
Oh, when Forge World are kind enough to send me one.
What have we got here?
So that's more the top part of the back of the main body.
Looks like exit vents.
Yep, which looks like it's covered by this piece.
Yep, which comes with some more pieces.
Has more photo etch, which I was kind of surprised to find in this kit. You actually get a bit of photo etch. I believe that just...
Oh, it does?
Yeah,
it just fits straight in. That is gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. It's nice to get that little bit of what I would consider something you would find normally in a scale model.
Yeah, in a scale model kit, and yet they've included it with it.
Mm-hmm. But Forge World have done that a few times. There's a few kits that have a little bit of photo etch in there, or etch brass or whatever, and it's been excellent.
I'm assuming that bit will go like that, and you'll have the photo etch in between it.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I like the depth and it gives it a level of detail.
That really does demand a paint job per individual part there.
It does, doesn't it? Because if you put that together, there's no way you can get to them parts.
No. But at least when you have an airbrush, you can put these two pieces together, airbrush the whole lot, and then go to town with
See,
that.
I've always wondered with a piece like, do you just leave them in the bare metal? Can you? Or should they be painted?
I would paint them. I would stick it all together and I would paint that because that would more or less be the same colour as that.
Yep.
What you could do later is go in with a dry brush and sort of bring the metal effect back out. I have done model kits where I've just left the kit unpainted just to show the amount of brass work and stuff that's on it, and it looks good in its own right. No.
What else have we got? Now this looks like lots of leg joints.
These are lots of leg feet pieces maybe.
Yep, I have no idea what it is. It's got some
little bits of flash in there you'll need to clean, but again, not really a big deal considering this kit's been out so long.
More leg joints.
We are going to have a lot of this stuff to go through, so...
There's a lot of it.
Yeah.
Double pieces there. Again, nice casts. Lots of detail on them.
Yep. These look like the reverse knee joint parts because these things have a very avian leg layout.
Reversed.
So...
They're big. These are big, chunky parts, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna be cleaning this up forever.
You're gonna have to spend a week just cleaning it.
Yep.
You really are.
I'm gonna go with another bag.
Yep.
Let's grab another bag.
Grab another bag. We'll start sliding all this stuff that way.
So much of it. What have we done? That's done.
Yep. So that's the weapons out of the way.
Another bag.
This
my heart is getting lower and lower every time I open the bag. I'm like, oh my god, so much stuff. This is the shin guards.
Yeah, so that's our two shin guards.
They are big and chunky. Obviously not massive detail on them, but they're clean and tidy.
Yep. They don't need a lot of detail on them. They are just big chunks of armor plate, really. I mean, they're only there to...
Although they have actually detailed the inside.
Yeah.
Which you're never going to see.
Well, you might catch glimpses of it, but if you don't paint it, you'll notice.
Yeah.
That's the big problem.
I like them.
So yeah, that's our shins. We have more ball joints.
More ball joints.
Which could possibly be from shin to foot.
Yep.
Because these look like the base for the feet.
Yeah, that is the base for the feet.
Yep.
So I'm assuming that goes into the main leg.
Yeah. So that's probably the way that sits, once it's all cleaned and fits. Oh, a chair.
A chair.
A command chair,
A
probably.
command chair. I don't know who that's. Is that the command throne?
I think that's the command one. Can we bring the cockpit?
Yeah, where's the cockpit? Where's the cockpit?
Yeah, I think he's...
Yeah, that is the command throne. That's where our dude's going to be sitting.
Yep. Which we still have to find.
We have to find.
He's in another one.
There is a lot of detail just on this throne. You turn it around to the back, there is loads of cables where obviously he connects in via the back of his spine, at the back of his neck. I really like that. That is pretty. So that's even have to be painted separately as well.
Yep. And he's not like the princeps you get in the larger ones, the warlords, who have amniotic fluid.
Oh, they have that?
Tanks.
Because not all Titans have that.
Yeah.
It's an upgrade.
It's an upgrade.
It's an upgrade.
So it's an upgrade to get your arms and legs chopped off and thrown into a big amniotic tank. Okay.
Become one with the machine gun.
Yeah, that's true. I have read Titanic, so I know what sort of things that they go through. It's quite cool.
Yeah. That goes in there. That's I really like that. Just even that little bit that impresses me.
You're going to have so much fun.
I've got so much fun. I don't know what that is. I have no idea what this is. It's got floor, so I'm assuming it goes that way.
Possibly.
It looks like it's got a control panel of some sort.
Yeah.
It could be the lift, actually, doesn't it?
Yeah, it has a lift underneath it.
There's a lift in the back somewhere.
In there.
Yes.
So it goes in there. Joe, we really should be looking at the instruction manual.
No. Only amateurs need instruction manual. Yeah, there it is. That is the lift. So that goes up through the body.
Yep.
Thrusting lift motion. Moving on.
The thrusting lift action. I'm going to remember that for a while, I think.
I think everyone's going to remember that for a while. All right, now this is a bag of tiny, tiny pieces.
We have crew.
We have crew.
We have crew.
We have crew.
Is all of them?
We have crew. Let's have a look.
That's two of them. So that's the two front guys, I think.
That's the two gunners and navigator or something? Do we have the main guy? Is he in here?
Oh, he's not in this one.
He's not in here. You know what's going to happen? I'm going to go through the other bag and he's not here and I'm going to have to bring up Forgery on my own.
So a lot of the parts...
Oh, he's there.
Oh, is he?
He's there. There's another throne.
Hang on a minute.
There's another throne.
What? Oh, it's an optional part.
Oh, it's an optional. Oh, you can have it empty. Who wants it empty?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, unless you're going to do an abandoned Titan. Oh, the detail. Oh, the detail on him is superb.
That is so crisp.
Yeah.
His cloth, his arm, look, he's got all the shoulder hangly-dangly bits.
Hangly-dangly. Oh, wow.
That is so nice.
Again, for a model that has been on production for so long.
This is still up there
and
now.
They've still kept it up with what they're releasing now.
Is there much difference between the thrones? The thrones are the same, I think.
Yeah, the thrones are the same.
No, there's a few more pieces on this one. Look, this one's got little...
Yeah. So it has little extra bits in there.
Got little extra bits, little bits where his hands are.
And the back of his headrest, which isn't on that one.
Yep. Oh, that is stunning. And it's just a guy sitting in it.
Yep.
I like his little beard. He's got
he's got a
moustache.
Yeah, he's got a little stash and beard.
I don't know if you can see that, people, but he has a moustache. I approve.
You approve of that, though. The other crew are very... what would you call them? Anonymous?
Yeah, anonymous, but again, detailed.
Yeah, anonymous, but they look the part. I'll get them back into shot.
They kind of remind me of the old Mars cartoon. You know, when they pull the whole thing down.
Yeah. There's not much else to say about them, although they're, apart from the fact that they are absolutely cool.
They're expendable.
Princeps, not so much.
Princeps, not so much.
The rest of this is a lot of... Pistons, bits and pieces, a lot of hydraulic bits and pieces and gubbins.
Bits that make no sense until they go together.
Yeah. Even when you're looking at the instruction manual, they'll make no sense until you're starting to put it together.
Believe it or not, the instruction manual is not that comprehensive.
No.
It's very few. It's going to be a lot of guesswork and looking at pictures.
Yeah.
But the parts themselves, even though they're quite generic, there's a lot of detail on them.
Yep.
There's Imperial Eagles on them. Actually, the Mechanicum cog. Just lots and lots of tiny bits. What do you want to say about them?
I don't think there's much to say about them. I mean, there's other... I think those are internal detail parts as well.
Yep.
Probably the insides of the cockpit somewhere. But yeah, there is so much stuff that we look at and we go, huh?
What is that?
Yeah.
So you know what, if this had been a tank, you'd be like, I would know every single part.
Every bolt and nut on this thing, but on a Titan, no.
It's like even little things like that. That is... where's my camera? That is the tiniest parts. And the big kits like this, and yet they come with all these tiny... That handle. It looks like a... Yeah, it's a handle. Looks like a...
Yeah, it's like a little control stick. Must be for the side of one of these guys.
I reckon my name's holding on to it. Yeah.
Yeah, quite possibly.
For a big kit, all the internal details, are very detailed.
You are going to spend a lot of time just on the internal parts. Really are. The rest of it, I guess, unless you're wanting to do something over the top with your paint scheme, you'll be spending a lot of time on it. Otherwise, not really. But
yeah, that's it. I'm looking at it and going, oh my God.
This is why you've had it 2 years.
This is why I've had it 2 years, and now I'm probably going to have it another 2 years.
Yep, you've intimidated yourself out of it.
I'm intimidated myself. I love it, but do you want to just pay someone else to do it?
Yeah.
Oh, do you want a job?
No.
We have 2 more bags.
Yeah,
two more.
So not actually as long as we thought, because we could just breeze over a lot of the generic parts here, which we now have more of.
More generic parts.
Except, let's pick out some bits here, because we have... Oh, we have skulls.
Skulls.
We have skulls. We have purity seals.
Skulls we've come across.
I think it is. I don't think there's been skulls anywhere else. So we have purity seals. We have 2 big skulls. So we'll move some of this out of the way, keep it in camera shot. So we have all that.
Skulls, purity seals.
To decorate anywhere you want, I suppose.
A lot of flash around them.
Yep, I suppose there's a lot of stuff that will go into the shrine or whatnot.
Is that servitor skulls?
2 service skulls with hang on, I'll get my hand out of the shot. I think I'll just stand that bit up. We have servo skulls with a couple of little claws and arms and stuff there that will go in. We have 2 of those actually as well. So you must need both of them. Big Imperial Aquillas.
More pistons.
More pistons.
It's a piston madness.
It is a bit piston madness. Yeah,
Imperial Eagle.
Big
I
Imperial
suppose
Eagles.
you can decide who you want this aligned to.
Yeah, if it's
to Mars or more Imperium.
Yep.
So I'll go Mars.
Yeah, I figured you would.
I'll go Mars.
Mars is more your thing.
Yeah. The red sands.
Oh, we have even more. We have more.
That's quite a detailed part.
These are all internal pieces, I believe.
They look like it. I like that. These are really well sculpted.
I think the plan for unboxing something like this is pick out the unique,
pick out the unique looking
parts.
bits. Hatch. There's a hatch.
That's a hatch.
There's a hatch.
There's a few of those.
There's a few. That's quite like those. There's another hatch.
I believe that's not even identical, is it? No, it's not.
It's different. It's not even the same. You have to say they haven't actually. There's quite a lot of duplicates, but again, there's not a lot of duplicates.
Yeah. Well, you're building a machine that has 2 legs, 2 arms, and 2 interior halves. So there is going to be a lot of generic parts and there are a lot of duplicate bits.
It was like the smallest flamer bit I have ever seen.
Yeah. That's like a cigarette lighter.
Must be like one of the servo skulls flamers or something. I'm assuming it's fell off of there.
Do you know what you do? You know what you do when you're building this thing, right? You need to model a cigar in the Princep's mouth, and you need to have that hovering beside him, lighting it with the little flamer.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Especially you can get a little whiff of smoke coming up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Have I just given you more ideas for something you don't want to do?
More ideas for stuff I ain't going to have time to do. My beard will be even longer by the time I finish this.
Oh, excellent. Right. Well, is that how we're going to,
This is that's your progress report. No, my beard's grew another 6 inches.
So you've built a
pile of stuff over there.
Pile of stuff over
One
there.
bag.
One last
bag.
Better not forget your little cigarette lighter.
Want to pour it out?
You pour it out. It's your model. If you break it, it's your fault. This looks like feet.
It does look like feet. It looks like feet and toes.
Yeah, but that's not. That's more internal bit.
That's an internal hatch thing again.
Yeah. There's so much.
Again, they've stuck with the same hatch designs.
Yeah. Been using sort of. I guess it's easier in the design step, but it also makes fluff sense.
They've been using that hatch design since 3rd edition.
Yeah.
Because it's when they brought out the new Land Raider.
Yeah. That was one of the internal hatches for the Land Raider, isn't it? Yeah.
Let's do a toe.
Let's do a toe. Let's have a look at a toe. So there's a toe.
There's a toe.
Once you have that all cleaned off, you'll be able to pose that on the larger part of the toe, which goes onto the base of the foot.
Nice, crisp detail. It looks like a track on the bottom.
Yeah,
kind of like track. Tank.
Track. Tank. Make the connection, John. Okay. We were talking earlier about posing this thing, and you were like, "Why would I pose it? It's just flat feet." And I went, "Get it stepping on something."
Yeah, and then I told you what I wanted it to step on.
Yeah, we'll not talk about that. That's part of the foot guard, possibly, or actually a bit of toe armor. We're gonna have to look at the instructions.
We're gonna have to look at it. We don't know. We don't know what it is. What is that? It's a round thing. Kind of looks like the beginning of a shower curtain. It's a 40k shower curtain. Comes, goes.
Anyway, we have more internal parts.
Oh, there's another dude.
Yeah, I believe this is probably one of the gun servitors.
Yep. Again,
So-
look, Chris detail. He's got a little screen in there.
Yep.
I should turn it up that way you can see the screen.
Is there 2 of them in this thing, or is there only one? I think there's only one, and then there's the tech priest. Nope, there's 2.
We have another one.
So
it's got 5 crew.
It's 5 crew, and that's a lot of people to stick in this thing. It's a lot of painting to do.
There's a lot of painting.
Yep.
There's a lot of painting. I really like the details on these though. Again, a lot of internal detail.
Even for something as simple as a servitor, which is really just a mindless drone with
Yeah.
a brain.
I'm going to be a mindless drone by the end of this.
You you might need to go to hospital after this because you'll be twitching and you'll have cut yourself so many times.
What we got here? I have no idea what it is, but I just like the chain detail on the inside there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
It looks like chain link, doesn't it?
It does actually. Oh, do you? Well, would that be part of the lift system? Maybe the chains.
It could be. Could be. Yeah.
The guys from Forge World are watching this, going, "We sent you an email after you filmed this. We can explain stuff."
Toes, but with awesome imperial
With eagles.
I
on it.
leave my
What?
mark on the floor.
Yes. When I step on something, you know I've been here.
I like that.
It's so much detail that you generally, if you're using it in the game, you're not really.
You're never going to see that. If this stands flat-footed, you're never going to see it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's there.
And it feels like such a waste as well because you want it to be doing something. So
I want it to be
look at it.
I want it to be canning now. Yeah, with that on show.
Or do it in like mid stride or something like that. But then you're gonna have to pin the parts.
Yep.
Because all the weight
All the way
will
up
be
on one
angle
of
and
them
foot.
ball joints.
Yep.
A lot of variation.
Yes. And then we have a whole pile of more
Vents,
grills.
grills.
At least they're the same.
That made me hungry. That did.
Grill. The word grill made you hungry. Do you know what? I think, are those for the back of the shoulders? Are those for there?
They could be. They could be covering points to cover up all the
mess that
air
you're eventually
bubbles.
going to make.
Yeah.
Oh, good lord. That's the
under. You meant to have the.
That's
it
the-
actually comes with a chain.
Yeah, comes with a little bit of chain as well.
Comes with a little bit of chain. I'm assuming that is going to hang off of there, it's like that on
That's
the bottom.
where the banner will be
Yep.
hung between the legs.
Between the legs, hanging his banner there. What else we got? More parts, more toes.
And this is all the toe joints.
This is all the foot joint.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of parts. There's a lot of work just in the toe joints.
Yeah.
Another big bit.
Just happened to point out another big bit.
Another big bit. Bit more big bits. Crikey, that is a massive kit. Look at that. That must be well over 100 pieces.
Easy. There must be
Easy.
100 pieces in just the small parts alone.
Yeah,
Never mind the larger stuff.
that's ridiculous. And people say like they're expensive kits, but now I know why.
Mm-hmm.
That is a massive kit.
I mean, I've never had a problem with buying off Forge World because I know what I'm getting.
Mm.
And I think a lot of people that haven't bought Forge World don't see that.
Yeah.
But then when the Mechanicum range started to come out, everyone was like, wow, look at this stuff.
Look at these, these are amazing.
You have a few pieces of it and you were pouring over it and showing us and everything, and it was superb stuff.
I'm impressed with this kit. It's a lot of work though.
The problem is, where do you start?
They do
you-
give you a rough idea where you should start. They say start at the feet.
But what if you want to pose the whole model? You're going to have to do the feet sort of last, maybe?
Mhm. You could build it in chunks. Do the main body first because the body's going to be a solid piece anyway.
Yeah. It's not going to be doing anything
Yeah.
motion-wise, unless you want to pose the head on the neck joint, but you can still leave that off as well.
Mm.
I don't know where I would start with it. You're probably right, main body, because that's where the majority of your detail painting is
Yep.
going to be. You might get sick of doing that after a while, and then you'll be like, I'm going to build a leg or something.
Well, the thing is, because it's hidden, I don't have to do it all in once. I can
Yeah.
still do the outside and do the inside at a separate
Yep.
time.
But knowing if I had to do the kit, I would have all the internals done before I even touched the outside, which would be a massive pain. But totally worth it,
Yeah.
because at least you can see it all. You can remove the top of the body and you can look into it.
What do you think?
Oh, I want one.
You want one?
I do want one.
You want to buy mine?
No. Maybe in a couple of months, I'll maybe buy one of these, or I've missed Forge World.
Yeah.
Because when I fell out with 40k, well, when I stopped playing 40k, I didn't fall out with it. Everything stopped. I even lost knowledge of what releases were coming out.
Yeah.
I'd occasionally jump onto Forge World and go,
Ooh.
that's nice.
Yeah.
But then I forgot how good Forge World is when you
Yeah.
actually get the model. So
And then when you see this, you're like, oh yeah.
because for a long time I'd wanted to do a collection of the commander figures in the Terminator armor.
Yep.
I wanted to get the Corn one and do all them up, and I kept looking at the Forge World ones, going, I really want it, but I don't know what. But this is just a reminder of how good this stuff is. And
I can see why I love the Forge World. I'm always buying it. Just I don't get around to putting any of it together.
That's as you can see.
Where would you start, guys? Ideas.
Yep. Do we have rules for this thing?
Oh, we do. We have rules as well.
We almost forgot about the
We
rules.
almost got the rules. I'm just so daunted by it. Justin's like, stop, please.
Stop, please. And we're like, nope, this is going to be...
I'm going to make this quick. I'm just going to do the basic run through of the stats because I can't bother going through all the special rules.
Yeah.
Warhound Scout Titan. Bearing in mind this is from the Horus Heresy book, so it might be different for 40k.
Yeah.
Warhound Scout Titan, 750 points.
Quite expensive.
Quite expensive. Weapon skill 2. So hitting good. Ballistic skill 4. Strength 10. So it's good at stomping on things. Front armor 14, side 13, rear 12, initiative 2, attacks 1, SP 3.
Void shields?
Yeah, free void shields.
Yep.
Which is good. The thing I like about it is agile. For a massive Titan, it's got agile rule. It can fire all its weapons as normal, or it can choose to fire a single weapon and move an extra d6, or if it fires nothing, 2d6.
Do you really need to move it?
If you're up against heavier Titans, you want to get around the side of them.
You need to move, or
Because this is out that in the fluff, they will never take on a Reaver or something head on. They'll work in pairs. Means I've got to get another one. Get another one, and they'll run around the sides of them.
Yeah. Now, when you read the likes of Titanicus and stuff like that, you always hear about these things being, when from a Reaver commander point of view, they're the little guys that run out and do all the maneuver work while these guys sit and blast away. And when you see the size of the kit, you think,
this is a little guy.
What? But then you see the Reaver kits, and the Reavers are like that tall, aren't they?
About that big, yay big.
And then the Eldar Phantoms are
they're really tall.
They're big, yeah.
Thinner, but
They're
very tall, really tall.
Wonder
very
how many parts are in
imposing.
those.
I keep going. I want a warlord.
Oh,
Can you imagine how big a warlord would be?
I don't think we could fit the parts for a warlord on this table.
No, we need 2 tables.
Yeah, we do. Let's wrap it up before Justin has an aneurysm and can't edit it. So, guys, what do you think? I mean, is this your first look at something this big out of Forge World, or is this your first look at something just this big in general for the table?
I hope it gives people a good idea of what you get in one of these kits.
Yeah, it certainly does me, and I've seen a few of them built. I love looking at them built, and then I think, well, how much is in there?
Yeah.
And
I didn't realise. You see them built and you don't realise how much goes into them.
yeah. So kudos to the people that actually have built and painted these things.
It's like,
because
you're
mental.
dedicated.
Yeah. You're dedicated and mad in equal measure. So yeah, put your comments down below. Let us know what you think. Do you really want me to build one of these things? I don't know.
Everyone's saying, tell him to get one.
Yeah, okay, yeah, fine.
Build from beginning to end.
We'll ignore that.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.
And we will see you again soon.
Become a general of mighty armies at the Kings of Warhub. Take command of elves, dwarves, and orcs in this game of massed fantasy combat on beastsofwar.com. Anime cyberpunk style meets skirmish combat in Infinity. Experience 8 high-tech factions and fight to control the human sphere at the Infinity Hub on beastsofwar.com.